Hello everyone, I'm Chestic44, Austin Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2. Last episode, me and someone else named Seraphin managed to escape from a guy named Lane. Unfortunately, we were in the process of being rebooted in order to get rid of the reliance on stabilizer, and Lane interrupted it. And because of that, we've forgotten a lot of things, including our relationship to Seraphin, which hurts him a lot. Clearly the two of us were close, and having forgotten an entire thing, an entire relationship, yeesh. Either way, we've made it to a location, and now we need to try and find food, find fuel, stuff like that. If we need to find fuel, let's start with the docks. In the exchange. In Citizen Sleeper 2, you perform actions by assigning action dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed at an action. But your dice will be modified by your skill. Your skill modifier for the action is displayed on the right and will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. Like skill checks, dice actions have 3 outcomes: positive, negative, and neutral. Each action is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous based on the outcomes it has. The more dangerous an action is, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. For more information, check the guide section on the pause menu. To assign a dice or item, click and drag to the action, then click Start Action. The exchange buzzes with the conversation of commerce. This is a place where contracts are found. You just need to look. So you can trade scrap. Trading scrap is all about identifying materials and cleaning up components. It's an engineer's job more than a trader's. Or impress the brokers. The data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off their knowledge by discussing decryption. Maybe if you can talk the talk, that's something I would be able to do. So if I put this here... Oh, wow! If I don't have the skill at all, I lose 2. Oh, that's bad. And the Hexport docks. The Hexport docks from with life. There are contacts to be made here, you are sure of it. We can chat to crews. There are plenty of crews milling about around the docks and moving cargo. They could be a good source of info. Or, Hexport's docks are a dizzying mess of braided cables and flickering signage, filled with busy spacers. Exploring is both thrilling and intimidating. We're neutral on both of those, unfortunately. But if we can do the exchange, we can impress the brokers easily. Oh, wow! You just progressed a clock. Clocks track your progress towards both positive and negative events and can be filled by performing actions of the passing of cycles. Alright. We can get this relatively easily. And if we do... You know what? I'm going to use a 2 here, because it's actually a positive. Lost energy, but we did get it. So, we've got 2 locations. Hexport Trade Hall. We can buy fuel. Fuel depots like this can be found at most stations, selling the lifeblood of the belt's transport and trade. If you have enough cryo, they can fill your fuel capacity in a single order. The trade hall has a healthy stock of supplies, stack-grown veg, water, usually some extras, all packaged up for the crews coming through. And if you have enough cryo, they can fill your supply capacity in a single order. So we can buy a little bit of fuel, but we need 25 cryo to fill up. That's what we need. And the canteen. Here you can eat in exchange for cryo. Eating gives you energy and stops you starving. Different foods give you different amount of energy. Most trade halls have a canteen where they prepare their own dishes from the packed supplies they otherwise provide. Yeah, we do kind of need that. That is a lot of energy, dang. Well, we still have some, so we can chat to the crews a bit. The crew welcomes you enthusiastically and gives you a quick tour of the docks. And if we explore the docks... Lost 1 energy, but you've used all your dice for this cycle. You need to end the cycle at your ship with a rig to re-roll them. But we have new locations. The Bends. Play Star and Stoker. S&S is a spacer gambling game played with custom magnetic dice. Chits are stashed in symbol-marked cans, and winning is ruthlessly luck-based. Or buy a Ben's Fry, a plastic bag of flash-fried, salt-flecked tubers. The Ben's Fry brings spacers back to the scattered tables of the bar, cycle after cycle. Okay. Another place to get energy, and I guess this would get us money. There's also the warehouses. The warehouses at the Hexport docks supply the industrial operations of the station, meaning they need constant loading and restocking. Not a way we can get some money. I should probably have him do odd jobs. Oh! Cryo, fuel, or supplies. I think cryo would be good. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and end the cycle. Oh. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Seraphin leans into the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling on your clothes, and glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphin is a silhouette, silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in the zero-G engine room. Do you know what these are? Fueled pipes? Close enough. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air. And before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. We're lucky the reserve tank is empty, otherwise it would have been bad. But, he pushes a pipe to the side, no feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is limited to the local region only. He thumps the large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So, we fix it? That's the short of it. Seraphin whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines, his frustration evident in the violence of his movements. We will need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out? It's on the other end of the station. Okay, I'll take a look. Seraphin keeps working. Wait! There's something else. He drops the feed lines and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly. Which is why we need those fuel lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution, I don't know. I'm no ship fitter. While I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? Get going. You leave the engine room, the clanking sound of Seraphin's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. You have discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objectives in Citizen Sleeper 2. The arrow button in the top left opens a drive menu where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above any location that relates to that drive. They come in two types, major and minor. On completion, a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points and minor rewards 1. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress to see what new opportunities and objectives are available, and track those you want to pursue. Escape Hexport. Yep, that's a major one. So we need to search down there in Factory Row. I am almost finished with this, so I should. Let's chat with the crews again. You have a good sense of the humming way station. Time to use that knowledge to your advantage. Oh. As you're gliding across the docking concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise of raised voices cuts through the conversation drifting out of the dockside shops. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot one man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab at the bag slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Seraphin told you to keep your head down. Cause a distraction. Neutral is fine. You look around for something that could break up the fight and see the thick cooling pipes running down the alley wall. You quickly try to understand the system and choose a valve to start spinning. As you do, the system begins to vent in sequence down the alley, violent jets randomly bursting into the air. There's a scramble in the alley, and you spot the figure who is being attacked drop down to the alley floor. Then your vision instantly fills with pale liquid as a jet of coolant jumps out nearby, missing you, but sending you spinning in 0G. After a few moments, you manage to steady yourself. As you do, you see a clear alley, the assailants having fled, with one figure gliding towards you. I suppose you think that was clever. The man gives you a severe look. You like to break up fights you didn't start? Oh, Belt's gonna eat you up. He shifts the large bags on his shoulder, weightless but unwieldy in 0G. I was helping. Well, thanks, I guess. He kicks off and drifts past you. You watch the man go, and then after a moment he stops and turns back. He rubs his forehead, looking down as he does. What is your deal anyway? Maybe you are new here, but Hexport is no place for do-gooders. I know what it's like. To get beat up? Hexport's got real tough, real rough. Look, let's not hang around, alright? The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Make yourself useful. Let's head. You get the strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridges. He cuts down a side passage, looking back to check you are following. Then he stops at a docking bridge connecting to a dull green ship with yellow markings. You look out the viewing window at its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls welded together. Symbol crash, he says, and you assume that's the ship's name. Femi, you bringing in strays? A young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she glides, drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Nia? Femi shakes his head. This one helped me fend off some Hexport scum while you were busy sunning yourself. Nia raises an eyebrow. I'm sure you could handle them, big brother. Her glib response hides the flash of concern that passes across her face. You can't tell if Femi noticed. Nia turns to you. Thanks, she smiles sweetly. And I am sorry for my brother. Just in general. Nia, enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nia rolls her eyes at you but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bags. I'm gonna load them back up. Maybe we'll find a use for them. He turns back to you. Thanks for the assist, Sleeper. Not what I expected. He slaps the button for the bridge door and kicks off along the docking bridge on his way to the symbol crash. Nia looks at you with raised eyebrows. I hope my brother was joking, or did you really help him? I tried. Thank you. She looks back at the ship. My brother needs help more than he admits. What do you mean? I don't know if... I shouldn't have said anything. She pauses, thinking. I want to ask you something. She takes a deep breath, then gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for crew? She looks away. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like... Well, if you are on Hexport, maybe you are with a crew. I mean, maybe your crew needs crew. Maybe you're looking? Why do you ask? Nia looks back at the ship, then at you. Look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is... nice. But he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? But he still sees me like one. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? Shouldn't I ask your brother? That is exactly the point! No, you should not have to ask my brother. Her eyes flare with anger. Sorry. I'm a good salvager, all right? You can use me. I can spot things, find gaps, ways in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. She glances at the back of the ship. Just consider it, all right? Let me prove myself. Suddenly, a shout comes from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi. He makes both of you nervous. Nia looks in his direction. I should go. She pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Nia gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. New local crew available. Interesting. Okay, I haven't looked at the bunks. Sometimes it's necessary to rest, or at least try to, in the compact bunks of the rig. This will help you reduce stress when not on a contract. We choose the galley. Supplies are typically saved for contracts, but when food isn't readily available, you've got to use what you've got to survive. So I can use those supplies. And rig engine. The engine's fuel capacity is extremely limited, but new feed lines would allow you to hook up a reserve tank to increase it. Yeah, we need those. Okay. So, I can play Star and Stoker to make money. Clearly, that's an option. While the warehouses are a thing, I do not have the endure that I need in order to get through that, and I never will. Canteen has a lot of food, but we need to find a way to get more money. Factory Row. Looks like this is what we got. The Hexport factories are picky about who they work with. Trust is a key currency here if you want to find a shop fitter. So we can search the row. The factory owners of the row speak mostly in terms of supply and demand, but going door to door might help you find the ship fitter you need. Or, factory row is filled with workers hauling material through its zero-G corridors. Helping might win you some fans among the factories. We don't have the endure for that. Which means searching the row is what we're going to do. We have 2 6s. That should get us through this. Yes, 100%. That'll get us through. You have a little trust with the factories. Now the trick is not to waste it. Factory Row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Whirring manufactories precisely engineer components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer incessantly at bent ship plates. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity, and for good reason. Hexport itself is built on the derelict fragments of a solar reflector, and even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It is familiar to you, of course, in that strange, far-off way because of Darkside. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild, flickering city growing on their back like a tumor. In comparison, Hexport feels provincial, but deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Darkside. And then you see them. Tubes just like those Seraphim had waved in your face. The feed lines. You push over to the display window of the unit marked Karsten's Supply in block capitals cut from a hull plate. There, amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components, sit the feed lines, like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside, where the sound of Factory Row is a little screened, and spot a large figure working at a bench. Hunched over, concentrating, it seems he doesn't notice you enter. Hello? A sharp eye glints as the figure looks over his shoulder. Can I help you? His accent is heavy but unknown to you. Nice place you have. You see little reaction from the profile of Karsten's face. He grunts. Something you'll need? Before you can respond, he tracks your eyes to the feed lines in the window. He looks back at you with a subtly changed expression, one you can't quite place. He turns with surprising grace and begins cleaning his hands on a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you, but Karsten's thick-set features do not betray the results of his assessment. Custom built those, for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands while he speaks, checking for stray oil stains. You have one of the old MEVs, then. He sounds out the letters in a way you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphim should have come along. I think so. Right. Look, Karsten drifts over to where you are standing, his imposing height evident. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinctive monotone, let's say a few hundred cryo on clean shits. He shoots a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. 400! 400, Karsten says back, repeating your question without the emphasis. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they are worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of the bartering type myself anyway. Barter sounds good. Karsten nods sagely. There's a little favor I need a crew for, and, well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in a pocket and clasps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there. Very old. Pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one has ever really cut it. Not only that, but Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by an unfamiliar ship. So it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. I have a special interest. A need for that old tech. All those Solheim ships had a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers or whatever they kept on the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So, if I was to find you back here with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete, well then I could see my way to doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Karsten pauses, sniffs at the air. You'll just need the coordinates. Why do you want it? Special interest. You wait for more, but his flat expression tells you it isn't coming. So, you interested? Because I'm a busy man. I'll do it. Alright then. He holds out a heavy hand for you to shake, and as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. Karsten pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, alright? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates. And then he lets go of your arm with what you swear is a wink. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirring fills the air, Karsten having returned to his workbench. You turn and glide out of Karsten's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement in the pit of your stomach, and the cacophony of Factory Row in your ears. Contract. Seraphin might even be impressed. You look down in the drive in your palm and smile. This could be a route out. You think of leaving this place behind in possession of an improved ship, too. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back, an equally small voice coming with it. Hey, wait up! Junie. You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide she clearly just came out of to catch you. She steadies herself using your shoulder. Sorry. She smiles a quick and flat smile. I wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flick around nervously. You notice a portable terminal she carries, something data scrapers call a deck, and her backpack full of components and trailing wires. Do I know you? She pauses, confused by the question. No. Karsten, she starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. She smiles that flat smile again. Wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot down to the drive in the palm of your hand. She smiles again. Why didn't he tell me? She glances back toward Karsten's. I guess he forgot? He does that sometimes. She looks sheepishly at you. He just grabbed me after you two were done talking, so... Karsten's always sending me on things like this. I guess he wants me to help you out, keep an eye on things. I can be pretty helpful. So... should I meet you at your ship and you can tell me when you're ready to go? Sounds good. Okay, great! Her eyes light up. She notices she still has her hand on your shoulder and takes it off. Junie pushes off and waves. Looking forward to working with you, she calls back as an afterthought. What about the ship? Oh, I'll find it, she calls back, and then disappears down the passage. You watch her go, glad of the contract, but nervous too. Will Karsten keep up his side of the bargain if you deliver? I don't know about this, Sleeper. Seraphin looks nervously out of the rig's windows as you finish explaining Karsten's deal, as well as Junie's offer of help. If this job was easy, Karsten would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch, and there's definitely something going on with this Junie girl. What choice do we have? What if we could get the cryo together to buy the feed lines? Why? Karsten wants to barter. You're right. I just can't shake the feeling that we're wandering in blind. Plus, Seraphin gives you a sly look. I did manage to turn something up in my station wandering. I found a contract board at the exchange, further in station. He gestures toward Hexport. We take on a job? That might get us some of the way towards buying these feed lines. Plus, even if we do want to take Karsten's job, a bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel, supplies, be ready for whatever comes. Do we have time? Probably not, but without cryo for fuel and supplies, we aren't going anywhere. Just take a look at the contract board, see what you think. While you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew too. Many hands make light work and all that. Or we stop messing around. We take Karsten's job right now and get it done before he can think twice. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, I've still got work to do on the drive. Seraphin nods a farewell, heading back to the engine room. Let me know what you decide. For a moment you pause, letting the haze of plans and ideas settle in your mind. Suddenly you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight. Your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. You feel a shift, as if some connection is broken. It's almost impossible to describe, like you're floating away from your body, dispersing, dissolving. There's nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth. And then another shift comes and you are back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. Pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb and then a residual flicker. You flex in 0G, stretching out the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain, a disconnection between your body and yourself, a flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or if this is some new sensation you'll have to live with indefinitely. It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it might persevere for countless cycles like this. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until they feel like they're yours again. Time is the only thing you need, and right now it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. You have unlocked a contract. Open the map screen to view it. Well, we got a upgrade point. Contracts are high-risk, high-reward jobs that you and your crew can take on. Contracts require preparation and care to succeed. You'll need to gather enough fuel to travel to the contract, gather as many supplies as you can afford to keep you and your crew going, look for opportunities to recruit crew, temporarily or permanently, to help you on a contract. Consider which crew to take carefully. They have different skills and stress resistances, and who you choose can affect the story. Once you are ready, you can select the contract from the map and then your crew to proceed. So currently we're at Hexport. Let's see. Karsten is offering you a straight barter for the feed lines you need if you bring him the data core from this derelict. Any scrap you pull out is yours. Payment 1 feed line. Ah, that's the location they're talking about. So we need at least 3 fuel. We've also got Karsten Supply. Karsten is a set of refurbished feed lines exactly to the spec of the rig's engines, but they don't come cheap. Okay, that's what we need to bring everything. The other thing is Swift Scrap Soul. All scrapyards have paid data diffusal work to offer, as old tech tends to be laced with protocols and countermeasures that need disabling. That's a good way to get money. Or Scrapyard Shift. Swift Scrap Solutions, or Triple S as it's known locally, is a chaotic and slightly terrifying scrapyard where open shifts are always available. Not as useful. Triple S is constantly processing scrap for the factories in the row. They'll pay good money for raw hull plates. That could be useful in the future. And the contract board. Buy signal contract. This open contract for the Hexport administration requires a fee to be paid to receive the coordinates of the job. Station management have located a Conway signal. They are concerned to see one so close and are looking for someone to disable its source. 200 cryo is actually pretty good. Really good. Considering we only have 15? You bet that would be good. It costs 10 cryo to get it, but we can get it. Interesting that the only crew we have here is Seraphim. So, I think I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode, I'll try and do what I can to get some money. Yeah, that's a minor one, but we can get it. I'll do what I can. I need to get up 4 points so that I can no longer be penalized for engineer. As long as I'm neutral with everything, at least I'll be fine. But that's going to take time. I haven't done... I could do a reroll. I don't know why I can't. Probably because I haven't gotten access to stress yet. Anyway, next episode we'll see about doing something else. Till then, I am Chester44. I'll say name is Fly. This has been a Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2, and I shall see you all next time.